Sorry for the noise in the background. It's gonna be interrupted a lot. But guys, John, It was a big return. I had to come back. I had to come back just for this, the thumbnail. I just wanted to do the thumbnail. I had to talk about my thoughts. In the time I'll be posting this, I already have seen Raw, and I do want to do a review, but we're just going to do that review and this because I am going to be done with wrestling content for now. I need to do the editing steps. I almost have it done, but I have to figure out some more stuff. I already figured out some stuff. I looked it up on YouTube, but I would say it might take me a few weeks to finish, like 2 to 3 weeks to finish this. And but let's start off with John Cena. John Cena comes out, basically pleasing the fans. Chicago, talk about his history there. Then he is facing Brock Lesnar at WrestlePalooza. Sami Zayn comes out. They boo Sami Zayn because they figured out, they assumed that he was interrupting John Cena, but I guess that was not the case. He just wanted to do that. I guess asking John Cena for permission to do the open challenge things, and just he was trying to give him a favor, just like Sammy did him. The crowds were my nuts, and Sami Zayn and John Cena face. So that was that. The match was good. Out of 10, I'll probably give the match about hold on. I'll probably give the match about out of 10, give it about an 8.5. That's probably how much I would give it. But it was this moment. They was on commercial a lot. We didn't even get to see John Cena, the greatest of all time, on his last time on SmackDown. I was looking at these dates, and it was like 4 dates left. I was like, it's only 4 dates left, and then I found out it was like 7 dates left. So that kind of confused me a little bit. But then, yeah, they kept paused. It was on commercial a lot. We didn't get to see the greatest of all time. We were last time on SmackDown. It was this part when they was on commercial. They was doing a lot of stuff on commercial, but there was this part when they both was laying down on commercial. But maybe John. Oh yeah, it was the part when we thought Brock Lesnar was coming out. He didn't come out at that time. What else? What else? He went off script, I believe. The crowd was trying to RKO, and that was Edge's move, not Roman's. Well, they both had the spirit, but the charismatic stuff he was doing, that was definitely Edge. Obviously Edge. He did GTS, Papa Powerbomb. What else did he do? He tried to do the RKO, but Sammy caught him. It was a whole bunch of other stuff. And then John Cena had to. Sammy was like super Sammy at this point. That just kind of made John kind of look weak. John Cena did beat Logan Paul at Clash in Paris. Roman Reigns did that. On Raw, I'm happy that Jimmy's getting more pops than Jay. I just watched Santi's app, and he said Jimmy's better than Jay. So if y'all want to send it to him, come do that. But then he does it off the top rope onto the ground, on the ring, actually. And then they're both down again. You see it again. Maybe they was going to no, maybe not. But I was going to say maybe they was going to finish the match, but the rep said it was a commercial. But never mind. Okay. So they're both on the ground. Wham. Brock Lesnar comes out, and then he F5s Sammy first, and then F5s John Cena twice. I wanted to see him beat him down, blood coming down his face, just like Randy. He had him when he did that. And what else? And then that was the end of the segment. They're fighting at WrestlePalooza. I had this idea that they should do something at the end of the year, like New Year's. They should call it I was gonna say end game, but maybe end of the story, end of the chapter, end of the war, end of the battle. Because I don't know if they have Marvel like that. But yeah, I'm gonna have some bigger content in the next 2 weeks and 3 weeks. But we still got one more thing to get into. I feel like it was only four things on the show, and they were in the middle parts, and I didn't really care. So that's what we're only talking about. Two of these matches, and tell me if you just want to see the important stuff when I return. But let's go in to what happened in the main event. Insane. To the moment y'all been waiting for, the return of AJ Lee. Let's light it up. That's all y'all get there, because I think that might have been copyrighted. So, hope I don't get copyrighted strikes again, because I did get copyrighted at 90 Champions. But AJ Lee has returned. And ever since, I've been skipping around the house like a little baby, okay? Let me clear my throat real quick. But before we get into the review of AJ Lee's return, let's take a minute to skip real quick. Let's go. Come on. 3, 2, 1. Whoa. Okay, you might have heard the noise in the background. But AJ Lee's return, I do feel like this was a big enough return that they had to spoil the return. They put a thing on it. They made it too obvious. But how could they not? How could they not make it obvious, you know? But they made it too obvious, and I know that big of a company could have made an idea to make it a little less obvious, I would say. That's my review on it. That's my opinion. I just have my own opinion. But she has returned, and Becky been smacking her husband and calling him a bunch of names, a coward. Well, stuff is up there in the box, I guess, up there. And then she was smacking her. This is recorded on Thursday. Oh, yeah, this is recorded on Thursday. It's going to be out on Thursday. So, yeah. Monday, we already saw when her promo's a little rusty. I couldn't realize what she was saying. But this is the SmackDown review. Hold on, we're going to get right back to that, though. But I don't really know what she I feel like she has a speech impediment or something. But let's go back to SmackDown. We're going to talk about that. I want to do a review on that. I do want to do reviews again, only because it's AJ Lee return. I was not around during that AJ Lee return. I wasn't even watching WWE at that time. Okay? But, let's talk about the return. So, I told y'all about I didn't like how it was so obvious. I don't like her promos. Well, she was a little rusty, probably a little shy. I didn't like the way she talked a little bit, but it's fine. I'm gonna see who's the real AJ Lee, because I wasn't watching her. I watched wrestling after AJ Lee. But AJ Lee came, let's start the show off where Seth Rollins comes from the box. He introduces his wife, Becky Lynch, as the man and all the yada, yada, yada. After Becky on Raw smacking her husband. And guys, on K-Wrestling Thoughts, I did change the picture up on the top. But on K-Wrestling Thoughts, we were talking about the Jey Uso stuff. And also we were talking about, I forget, the AJ Lee return, I believe. And guys, fun fact, I should have saved this for the John Cena thing. Actually, yeah, I might to just put it in the text of John Cena because it makes more sense. Why would I do it now? But it's about John Cena's last match. I will be talking about John Cena's last match on K-Wrestling Thoughts. But AJ Lee, what was I at? Oh, yeah, she was smacking her husband. And CM Punk, I can call Rhea Ripley to come do it and beat you up. My sister barely anyone to come beat you up. And then she just started smacking him again, and then bumping her head on him. Well, AJ likes to say motorboating her husband, and then I think that's when see, Becky Lynch. I'm getting stuttering. Becky Lynch says, "Get on my ring" or something. CM Punk is listening, but he turns around. He says, "I would never put my hand on a woman." That's a lie. And then he's like, "Oh yeah, but I know someone who will." And then the car starts. Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? And then you hear this music. I'm getting copyrighted. I don't care anymore. AJ Lee returns to the crowd of rocks in the home of Chicago. I don't know if that's actually her real home, but the Roxanne stuff is kind of all like full circle, kind of. Like, and we gotta talk about how Lita was dating CM Punk and now she's dating CM Punk. That is kind of crazy, though. I don't know if Lita thinks she backstabbed her, though. But that's kind of weird. How she would, she and Lee, what's her name again? AJ Lee. She was a kid and CM Punk was already dating her. How old was he? Like a teenage, 20? I think it was 20. And she was a kid at that time. Maybe I might be getting the math wrong. I don't know. But, yeah, what was I talking about? Full circle. I was talking about some other stuff, too. Oh, yeah, the Roxanne, AJ Lee meeting Lita, and the Roxanne meeting AJ Lee. I wonder who Lita meant. Let's go look that up in the comments. Y'all tell me, and I might just look it up on myself. AJ Lee returns. She skips a little bit. She embraces it, and then she skips again. And then she turns, looks at CM Punk, skips around the ring, puts her back on the hardest part of the ring, the apron, and then turns around, looks at her. She's rubbing the ropes a little bit with her arm, and then going to the other side. She goes to the ropes, squats. Becky's like, but we gotta talk about the Becky and Seth's reaction. What if it was a storyline when AJ was like, "We know you like me, Seth," and then it just started getting off the rails. But then Becky attacks her, but then I think she either did a spear or like get a Randy Orton get on you and punch her in the head. She was giving like these punches to the head. I don't like her promos so far, but I like her. Just like a little glimpse she showed me. I liked her hits. I didn't think she was gonna come back. And some other stuff. We only have a few big returns. We got Paige, Mercedes, Mox, Chris Jericho, or whatever. And what else do we got? I don't know what else. But AJ Lee has returned. Make sure you skip around the house. And it's for, I think, a long time. A multi-deal. Tell me, or should we do this video predicting some AJ Lee storylines, and we're going to be doing the same storylines. That might be an hour video, who knows, but this is the last one for a while. I might do another one off 2 weeks after about AJ Lee, but this was one you gotta hear in your ears. One last, I'm getting copyrighted, but I'm just gonna have to redo this video, and I'm gonna have to take those parts out, but we gotta hear it one more time. Let's light it up!